Hello, my name is Tom, and in this video I will solve SquareCells puzzle number 30. Okay, couple of group clues, side clues. Well, this puzzle actually looks more like easier than the previous puzzle, but let's see. We have nothing that we can deduce from the group clues itself. No. So let's look at the column clues. We have one square, and two connected squares at the bottom. So I can do this already. We have 5 squares here, 2, 1, 1. That doesn't help. We have 3 squares connected at the top of this column, so I can mark this square also. We have 1, 1, 3 squares. No, I can't deduce anything here. 1, 1, 2. Also not here. In this row, I have one separate square at the end, so I can delete this square. We have 5 scattered squares here and 4 scattered squares here. 4 squares in this row in the beginning, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. Also, that means here we have 3, so let's delete those 2 already. We have 1 and 1 here. That doesn't help. We have 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I can complete this row already like this. Okay, here we have 5 squares altogether. That doesn't help, and 1 separate square in the beginning, so here I can delete this square now. That means that the group of 18 connected squares can only move into this direction. So let's look at these clues again. 1, 1, that doesn't help. 5 doesn't help. 2, gap 1, and 1 needs to be here. Yes, actually I can deduce more from this clue, I think. Let's see. The 2 connected squares at the top can only be positioned here, right? They can't be positioned here. And if they were positioned like this, I wouldn't have enough space for the 2 separate squares that I still need. So the 2 connected squares need to be here. This needs to be a separate square. And there's one more separate square here somewhere. Here I have 3 and 1 already, so this column is completed like this. This doesn't help. And this also doesn't help. Can I do more here? 1. Yes, this has to be the separate square in this row because it can't be here. This would have to be 2 connected squares, which it can't be. So I can delete these squares, and the 2 connected squares need to be here. 5, 4, 4 and 1, 1 and 1. Okay, that's about it, I think, so far. So let's look at this group clue here again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 squares max in this section, so we have to move this group out of here like this. Now this is a separate square according to this clue, so I can delete this one also. Oh, I see, now I can do more in this column. Actually, we have separate squares at the top of these 2 columns, so I can delete these squares. And let's count. Maybe I can do more here. 1 separate square here, a gap, 1 separate square, a gap, and 1, 2, 3. So these 2 squares have to be part of these 3 connected squares. But I can't do anything similar here. Okay. Yes, actually, I can say that the group of 3 connected squares can only be here or here, right? Yes. We need 5 here. We need 2 separate squares at the top of this column, and they can only be positioned like this and like that, with a gap in between. So that completes the 4 connected squares for this row, and I can delete this square. That in turn means that the 1 separate square of this column can only be here, it can't be there. So let's mark this. 1, 2 here. Here we have a separate square. 5. This group of 4 connected squares has to move into this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4 squares marked only. So I don't know anything else yet. Here we need 4. We have 4 plus 1. We don't know where. 1 square here also. We don't know where. We have 3 squares marked 2. We don't know where. 2. No. And 1 square somewhere here. This has to have 5 squares, so I can only have 1 square here or here, but I don't know where yet. Here it's 1 and 2. The one separate square can be here or here, and the 2 connected squares can be here or here, and here I have 8 squares left for 6, so I can't deduce anything else. So how to move forward? The likeliest option is to look at the group of 18 squares actually, because as you can see I have a section that is entirely cut off from the remaining field. It could only move here, so let's see how many squares we have already and how many we can have maximum in this section here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 squares we have already marked, so we need 4 more. And we can have 1 more square here. We can have 1 more square here, and if it is here we could also add this square, but that's a maximum of 3 squares. So I would end up with 17 squares, right? So let's unmark them again. I need this square definitely to complete the group of 18 squares. So that's the separate square in this column here. I can delete this square as well. And now I can see already that this group of 18 connected squares can't move into this position also, because otherwise the group of 4 connected squares would be cut off. It couldn't move here, and it couldn't move there, so this one has to be deleted now. Now the group of 4 connected squares has to move here for sure, because it can't move there. It can only move there or there then, right? These are the only possibilities. And this way I completed this row here. I have 4 squares marked, so I can delete this square now. And let's count the numbers here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I need 3 more. So I have 1 to add here, also according to this column. So I had 15, 16, 17. I need 1 more, and that can only be positioned here. It's this one separate square there. So I can also delete this square. So now this clue is also completed here, so I can delete this square, and that means the group of 4 connected squares can only move here. Okay, so now we have something else to work with here, because I missed that before. The 2 connected squares at the bottom of this column can only be positioned like this or like that, so I can delete this square also. So let's see what we have left. We have 1 square left here, either there or there. We have 1 square left here, either there or there. We don't know how many squares we have left here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 square left also in this column. So 1 square here, 1 square here, and 1 square here. Now in this row we need 1 square, 1 separate square. In this row we also need 1 separate square, and here we also need 1 separate square. So that does mean that we can delete all the squares in this column, right? Well, let's check again. We have 1 square here, 1 square here, and 1 square here, and we need 1 square here, 1 square here, and 1 square here. Yeah, that would mean that let's check again with the amount of squares I have, and I have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares I have all in all, and I need to remove 6 squares, so I can only have 3 squares left to mark, and they are positioned here, here, and here, so I can delete all of these squares. Nice. That's the first time I find this way to solve the final step of this puzzle. It shows you how well these puzzles are built. I need 1 square here, 1 square here somewhere, and 1 square here. Can I deduce it like this? If I put the 3 connected squares here, then I would need to put the 2 connected squares here. Let's just do it like this. And I would have this position as a leftover for this one, so that is possible. Can I do it like this? 3 connected squares here. Then the 2 connected squares would have to be here, and 1 connected square here. That doesn't work because the the group of 9 connected squares only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, that's actually the easier way to approach this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares marked already. So all of the remaining squares, the remaining three squares that I have, one here, one here, one here, have to touch this group of 5 connected squares, no, 6 connected squares. So the square in this column cannot be here. It has to be here. I can remove this, thereby completing this row. I can delete this, and then the 2 connected squares can only be positioned like this. And these, this clue is also completed now, so I can delete this one and complete the puzzle like this. Okay, thanks for watching once more. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again in my next video when I will solve puzzle number 31. Bye!